Both teams perhaps may have given up the chase to catch up with the leading two teams and an automatic promotion place. But both teams with high hopes of getting into the playoffs. Swindon currently 4th, Rovers tucked in behind them at 5th. And both teams hoping to finish in that group from 3rd to 6th who qualify for the playoffs. Final, of course, at Wembley on May the 28th. Rovers line up with Darren Collier in goal, replacing Geno. Mark Atkins, Ali Dawson, Scottish international, retains his place. Nicky Reid, Kevin Moran, David Mail, Andy Kennedy places Howard Gale in the attack. John Millar in midfield at number 8. Frank Stapleton at number 9. Garner at 10. And at 11, making his full league debut, Jason Wilcox. No Scott Sellers today for Rovers. Swindon line-up: Fraser Digby, David Kerslake, Paul Bodin, Alan McGoughlin, Colin Calderwood, Jon Gittens. Number 7 is Tom Jones, Duncan Shearer at 8, Steve White 9, Ross McLaren 10, and number 11, Steve Foley. So a surprise for Rovers fans, no Terry Geno and no Scott Sellers in the starting lineup. Jason Wilcox, left. Frank Stapleton recalled after Saturday when he was omitted from the team. Frank Stapleton replaces Alan Irvine, but in effect Frank Stapleton will play wide on the right. Rovers will attack the Darwin end. Here we go. Rovers looking very eager right at the kick-off there. The ball back with Fraser Digby, who seems to reserve some heroic performances for his visits to Ewood Park. Here's Jason Wilcox with an early chance for a run and cross. He gets a cross in to Simon Garner. It's in the back of the net. 1-0. Oh, what a dream start for Rovers. What a dream start for Jason Wilcox too. Less than 30 seconds gone. Wilcox's cross found Simon Garner. He controlled it well, swiveled and ran. The ball back with Fraser Digby, who seems to reserve some heroic performances for his visits to Ewood Park. Here's Jason Wilcox with an early chance for a run and cross. He gets a cross in to Simon Garner. It's in the back of the net. 1-0. Oh, what a dream start for Rovers. What a dream start for Jason Wilcox too. What a start we have for Rovers. Well, Simon Garner just dried up in the last 4 or 5 games in terms of goals scored, but he's back on the score sheet with his 18th goal of the season, all scored in the league. And what a boost for Jason Wilcox that will be, getting a cross like that over in the first minute. Valuable assist in a vital goal for Rovers. Settle the nerves right away. Many spectators still arriving into the ground. They've missed that goal. But at least they'll be pleased with the look of the scoreboard, displaying a lead for Rovers. John Miller in with a tackle on the edge of the box, the clearance. There's Frank Stapleton. Garner finds Kennedy, who's got pace, but he lays it back for Andy Kennedy. Nicky Reid on a typical surging run. And Garner, inches wide. A typical opportunist effort when that ball rebounded to him from a defender. And Simon will be kicking himself for not hitting the target on that occasion, but in truth it was a magnificent first-time effort. Oh, what a sight it would have been to see the net bulge there. Kennedy's cross was looking for Jason Wilcox, but the defender managed to get a leg onto it, but only could direct it back into the problem area. There's David Kerslake with the throw. Duncan Shearer. And Moran and Jen will sort that one out. Moran and Collier, I should say. Darren Collier had a run of games before Christmas with Rovers. Perhaps unfortunate that he was thrown in at a time when the entire defence seemed to be comprised of players trying to make their way in the team. David May, Keith Hill. And Darren's last game was at Swindon, in fact, on Boxing Day. Just prior to Terry Geno's recovery, Rovers signed Andrew Marriott, played a couple of games. On loan from Notts Forest. And Rovers certainly looking tigerish in the opening stages. Mills header. Helped on by Miller. Jon Gittens will run that one back to Fraser Digby, former Manchester United apprentice. Unforgettable game on the bank holiday Monday night a couple of years ago when Rovers were hoping to clinch the top 2 spot. Fraser Digby saved everything that Rovers threw at him. The game of his life. Wilcox gets his head on that, but it's out for a Swindon throw. Shearer's header on is for White. Reid guides that back to Collier. And Mark Atkins collects that. And up the line, looking for Andy Kennedy. And a mistake there by Tom Jones. Ali Dawson looking to join the attack. Wilcox with the cross. Borden had to head that one out for a Rovers throw. Well, Rovers certainly look a different team altogether to the one that played at Hull last week. Disappointing defeat. And then on Saturday, won at Bradford. Scrappy game at Bradford, decided by an outrageous deflection. John Miller's shot helped in by deflection off Gavin Oliver, but the only statistic that matters to Rovers is that meant 3 points. Shearer's shot. Probably well placed on the line to deal with it. Ali Dawson dithering somewhat there. Stapleton turned back to avoid the offside trap as Mark Atkins played the ball through. There's Borden. Tom Jones. Borden looking for Steve Fowler. Finding him, back to Jones here. And Wilcox doesn't affect that clearance, so McLaren has a chance to play it in. And it's a Swindon throw. Late for Jones. Fowler. It's McLaren take over. There's Alan McLaughlin. He's well robbed by Dawson. Stapleton looked for Kennedy. He was out jumped by Gittens. And a foul by Reid. And McLaughlin gives Swindon a free kick. Rovers certainly look to have a more competitive edge to the game today. McLaren. Shearer for Kerslake. McLaughlin tried to dump it, but Reid was awake to it. There's Colin Calderwood for Borden. White with the attempted flick on. David Mail, safety first clearance. You don't expect David Mail to build up from the back like Franz Beckenbauer, but it's a sensible option. McLaren. Is Kerslake available? And that ball for absolutely nobody. Dawson back to Collier. Finds Kennedy, and he in turn finds Wilcox. Now will the young man play the ball in early? Tries to play it in right-footed towards Kennedy. Swindon able to come away through Borden. Chased and harried by Stapleton. And Moran completes the work. And then Boyks on a run. It's good play by the two era internationals. Frank Stapleton left out of the squad for the first time for the upcoming friendly, but I think he'll be in Jack Charlton's 22 for the World Cup. All his experience and years of know-how at international level. Here he is. Atkins, very tight in there. Kennedy tries to get a 1-2 going. McLaughlin shrugged off by Miller. John Miller and Nicky Reid, similarly to last year, having a good run as we approach the stage of the season where points are so vital. There's Stapleton. Looks for Kennedy. Kennedy has the legs, but so too had Calderwood on that occasion. Stretched out. Finally has to upend Andy Kennedy. It's a Rovers free kick. John Miller. Kennedy got the flick, but everybody was rushing in. Everybody got in front of it. There's Kersley. And good work by Dawson. Restored to full health and fitness. Sally Dawson, what a bonus that would be for Rovers if Scottish International could claim his place for an extended stay in the side. Versatile player Ali Dawson, when fit, can slot in more or less anywhere in the back four. He's brought in now for Swindon. Push back to Calderwood. White. Ball for Bowden, just evades Mark Atkins. He does well to force Bowden wide and also to get the decision there. Bowden's cross smacked into Atkins and rebounded back onto Bowden before it left the field. Rovers throw. McLaughlin. Tom Jones. Shot blocked very early. Combination of Dawson and Miller. Steve White and Atkins in a tussle here. And Atkins once again forces his man wide and gets a tackle in outside of the dangerous confines of the penalty box. Foley. Well, Nicky Reid doesn't shirk from any 50-50 balls, and when the Rovers captain is involved, I think the odds become slightly weighted in his favour. Really does relish a one-on-one tackle. Garner with the clearance. And that's misdirected by John Miller. Jason Wilcox looking to break forward. One 0 to Rovers, 15 minutes gone. Swindon, like Rovers, a prolific goal-scoring team. White and Shearer, the Swindon strikers, well known to Rovers fans for their exploits with previous clubs. Duncan Shearer at Huddersfield, Steve White with a series of clubs, Bristol Rovers and Luton among them. Here's Dawson. Nobody in the centre circle leading the line for Rovers. Calderwood able to collect it. And the referee judges that Dawson's challenge on Tom Jones merits a free kick to Swindon. Kerslake inside to Foley. And Gittens' header bounced by Collier. Gittens found a bit of space there, might have done better. Swindon just enjoying a spell of possession here. Mail's header was an important one. And into the mincer with Reid and Miller. Went McLaren. Borden looks for White. Collier claims that. Kennedy with a good flick. Digby's clearance deep into Rovers territory. Stapleton's header misdirected, but Atkins able to hoof that one clear. And Kennedy hold this one up. Kerslake. Little push by Wilcox. And the free kick will have to be taken from further back than that. McLaughlin, one of the men who's found a place in the era squad. Frank Stapleton's been left out of. Jack Charlton wanting to look at as many options as possible before the finals in Italy. Only about 6 weeks to go till that carnival of football begins. Right now the concern is that Swindon have a free kick halfway into Rovers half. Kerslake swings it over, looking for White. Wilcox. And that was a great ball, worthy of the man he's replaced, Scott Sellers. Simon Garner unable to control it. Intelligent play from Wilcox. And that's a Rovers throw. They've certainly got some prospects in reserve. Rovers, anybody who attends the Central League fixtures regular. Keith Hill, David May, Darren Collier, Jason Wilcox and his compatriot on the right wing, Craig Skinner. And some even younger lads coming through. Bob Dewhurst, a young centre half. Must have a touch of class. And a young striker named Peter Thorne, who I think we're going to hear a lot more about in years to come. Plenty of rain about this morning, but at the moment it's breezy sunny afternoon at Eagle Park, Easter Monday. Here's Borden. Foley looking to make a shooting opportunity for himself. Collier held that. The second attempt. Push by Calderwood on Kennedy. Rovers rewarded with a free kick. Ali Dawson. Kennedy got the head on. Everybody had moved deep into the area. David Mail looking to beat it the offside trap his own way as well. Stapleton didn't quite run for Garner. Swindon defender got a foot on it, but Mark Atkins picks it up. Inside for Garner. Nicky Reid. And not far off. And more of a cross from Nicky Reid, but he's certainly found a taste for goals this season. I don't think he'll thank me for saying that he's never been a prolific goal scorer in his career, but he's certainly popped up with some vital ones this season for Rovers. That wasn't too far off. Fraser Digby not the tallest goalkeeper. And a Swindon throw. Kerslake. Jones is centre, and Reid with a timely interception. Steve White waiting in predatory fashion for that centre. And Collier claims that. That'll do his confidence a world of good. Took some stick from the supporters down in Collier around about a time when Rovers were getting a few 4s and 5s pushed past them earlier in the season, but weren't too many people from Blackburn down at Portsmouth when Rovers drew 1-1, and down in Collier, any points Rovers amassed this season, 2 of them were down to Darren Collier that day, that's for sure. John Miller. Andy Kennedy with a lackadaisical bit of control. And he has to correct his error by bringing down the Swindon defender, Borden. McLaren. Gittens joined the attack, but pass was wayward. Garner helps that one on, but Jon Gittens with the half to himself. Plays it back to Digby for another of those clearances. Good distance on those kicks from Fraser Digby. For a small man. Relatively small for a goalkeeper. Rovers have a throw. Kennedy offside. But not quite as offside as he might have looked when the ball crossed the halfway line. Andy Kennedy intelligently just trying to hang back there. Beat this trap. Calderwood's free kick looks for Shearer. Atkins hoists his clearance into the enclosure. Darwin End quite sparsely populated today. Swindon, a team gets similar home gates to Rovers, 7,000 or 8,000. But I think confidently say that if this game had been played at Swindon today, there might have been a few more travellers from Blackburn down at the county ground. So Rovers doing well here with some key men missing. Terry Geno, Scott Sellers, 2 consistent performers. Chris Sully, Ali Dawson deputising well for him at left back. McLaren. Steve White holds it up well. It's for McLaren to rejoin the attack. It's Kerslake out wide. Jones on an overlap outside him, but Kerslake played a ball in himself. Atkins' header wasn't too well directed across the face of the box, but Ross McLaren's shot well over the bar. Wilcox's tackle. Kennedy not able to pick the loose ball up. South Rovers haven't shown too many ideas in attack since the first 5 minutes. That shot from Shearer is miles over the bar. A little bit of anxiety just creeping into Rovers play now as they just for the moment struggling to get anything going in their opponent's half. Stapleton, Kennedy, chance to run. He's dispossessed. Some good work from Jones. And away comes Swindon with Fowler. Clown has White out wide. Played the ball into the box and then looked for the trip. In truth, there wasn't one. Digby keeps Kennedy's flick in. Coming up to half an hour gone now. Rovers 1, Swindon Town 0. Such a result would send Rovers above Swindon in the table to 4th position. Throw. Bowden. Stapleton and Miller combining well. And Kennedy here certainly has the pace. And a corner ball. Ball ran through for Fraser Digby to just get a hand on that. Rovers have a corner from that lightning break. Andy Kennedy would have been looking to get a shot in there, but Fraser Digby narrowed the angle well, forced him out wide. Millar gets the corner back from Kennedy. Swings in another to the near post, but no problem. Defender covering that post and Fraser Digby able to clutch onto that one. Digby's throw out is a good one, finding Bowden on the halfway line. He's able to make inroads into Rovers territory. Steve Foley inside him. Some head tennis there in the box. Dawson finally gets it clear. Rovers just seem to be sitting back a little bit on this lead, somewhat alarmingly. Came out in a barnstorming opening, took the lead and could well have been 2-0 up 5 minutes later. And really for two prolific goal-scoring teams, that one goal could well not ever be quite enough of a lead in this game. Mail's header found its way into Collier's hands. McLaughlin. Wilcox able to intercept that pass. Gets it back from Reid and finds Dawson. Here comes Bowden once more. The wind holds that one up for Shearer. He gets a shot in, but it's a tame on. Jones finds Kerslake. Wilcox slips, so Kerslake able to make inroads into the box. And important work there from Atkins and Moran to get that one clear between them. Swindon corner. David Kerslake's cross looked set to find its way to Duncan Shearer. Rovers have a problem now with Mark Atkins down injured before the corner is taken. Mark Atkins is okay to continue. Swindon with the corner. Dawson's header clear. He's only back to Jones. Lob into the box, collected by Collier. 10 minutes remaining of the first half. Rovers in the lead, but Swindon clawing their way back into the game, enjoying a lot of possession. Stapleton. John Miller. Stapleton and Miller battling away, but conceding a free kick. And Stapleton looks to have come off worse in the bargain. Jack Cunningham was just on his way back to his seat after Mark Atkins recovered. Frank Stapleton resume his duties. Calderwood's free kick. And Moran and Mail just about sort that out between them. Mark Atkins up the line. Once again, Andy Kennedy. Colin Calderwood knows very well that Andy Kennedy isn't short of a burst of speed. Stapleton and Atkins. Stapleton looks for Wilcox. Diagonal ball to the edge of the area. It's Kerslake. And Reid with a powerful header, well directed out for a corner. I think a lot of people remember Swindon teams in the last couple of years playing a long ball game, but all the press was that since Ozzy Ardiles took over as manager, the passing game had come more into it, and how right they were. Calderwood's header wide. It was a great coup by Don Mackay to sign the little Argentinian. Sadly went wrong with injuries and one thing and another, but a few people forget the first 15 minutes of the game he played here against Swindon. It was Ozzy's home debut. And some of the back heels and little flicks and 1-2s he played in the opening stages of that game. Delightful as anything you could wish to see. Bowden. Shearer trying to get him back into the game. And nothing fancy about that clearance from Nicky Reid. Gittens gets it back to Digby, despite the attentions of Andy Kennedy. Bounces kindly for Wilcox. Crossing is a turn one. And in actual fact, the support wasn't too forthcoming for him. Borden. Time he plays a poor ball. Simon Garner does likewise. Gives it back to Kerslake. It's Jones. Foley making a run onto the right. Wide on the right, it's his crossing for Shearer, and Nicky Reid there, well placed, clear that one, calm and collected work from the Rovers skipper. Wilcox with some good defensive work. Dawson's ball is a good one, and so is Miller's run. He's shepherded out by Jon Gittens. Ali Dawson's distribution is a feature of his game, and he found his fellow Scotsman making a good run there for him. Found him well. Once again, here comes Swindon with Kerslake. John Miller looking for somebody to make a run on the right. Simon Garner, possibly troubled by his groin injury, unable to stretch. Borden. McLaren hesitated. And what work from Nicky Reid there. Away come Rovers with Kevin Moran. Oh, what a ball for Jason Wilcox. And his effort rebounded off Fraser Digby, just took enough of the sting off it. Put out for a corner, but Kevin Moran showing such a good footballing brain there, even in an unfamiliar role, breaking forward through the midfield, weighted his pass correctly, found his man in an onside position. Miller the corner. Wilcox lobs it back in. Well, that was the best chance Rovers have created for some time. Still have this precious 1-0 lead. Kerslake for Jones up the line. Dawson sticking to him well. Good football from Swindon. Need to get Alan McLaughlin in round the back there. pretty inevitably. That's the equaliser for Jon Gittens. Calderwood's flick on. And Gittens headed home. And really, the way Rovers have approached the task since the first 5 minutes, you can't say that that's much more than they deserve. Inevitably, that's the equaliser for Jon Gittens. Calderwood's flick on. 1-1. About a minute to go to half. He's injured himself. Process of heading home. Jon Gittens fit to resume and complete the half. And really, you can only say that Swindon deserved their equaliser thoroughly. Rovers, not the sort of team that can defend for 89 minutes, but here's Jason Wilcox. Some more possibilities in attack for Rovers. Garner's effort. It was a screamer. He's scored some beauties from outside the box this season, Simon Garner, but just off target that time. But that's the sort of style that Rovers fans want to see. Concentrated spell of pressure, really. And the half-time whistle goes. Mr. Hart says that's enough. Entertaining half of football. Rovers took an early lead through Simon Garner, but just at the end of the half, Jon Gittens nodded in the, what it must be said was a well-deserved equaliser for Swindon. Blackburn Rovers 1, Swindon Town 1. Jeffrey on. And Rovers kick off the second half. Looking to show more ideas getting forward, I should expect. 1-1 the score. Nobody wants to lose this game, but I'm sure a draw would be seen as a disappointing result for Rovers. Danny Collier off his line quickly, collect Kevin Moran's header. Atkins for Kennedy. Kennedy unable to control it, but he finds Jason Wilcox with a good cross. That's headed out for a corner by Paul Borden. Millar on the corner taking duty again. There's Wilcox. Ball for Millar is short, didn't really give him a chance. But he recovers it, gets it back for Dawson. Mark Atkins, Kennedy. Nicky Reid with the blast, but charged down. And it's in! Well, a bizarre a goal. Nicky Reid's shot was charged down. The Swindon defender tried to turn it back to Fraser Digby. And Mark Atkins was on hand to prod that one into the empty net. Digby couldn't hold the back pass. before a minute of the half's gone. Well, just a start to the half that Rovers needed. Well, the strangest of goals. But the old golden rule, never pass back towards your own goal, came into effect there. McLaughlin runs that out for a goal kick. So Rovers happily established in the lead again. But again, there's 44 minutes to preserve that lead or improve on it. And we've seen in the first half that Swindon capable of stringing together some good football. Stapleton to get Atkins in down the line this time. Pushed by White on David Mail in a few seconds just to compose themselves. Atkins down the line for Simon Garner. That's away from Gittens, his cross is a good one. But Andy Kennedy just eluded him. But out for a corner. John Miller's corner. Calderwood heads it out for another one. Andy Kennedy claiming he was pushed, but referee seen nothing wrong with Colin Calderwood's header. And a third one now for Rovers will be very timely. Stapleton's flick on. And again a scramble on the line. I think that hit the back of a defender's head. Stapleton was up there challenging Digby. His punch wasn't too convincing. Crowd a bit happier that Rovers seem to have set about the task with a little bit more resolve than they showed in the latter stages of the first half. Just Fowler. McLaren. McLaughlin Rob. Still the build-up from Swindon with good running off the ball. Nicky Reid charging through. And wrestled off it. He's like a tank in those situations, Nicky Reid. Referee allowed advantage for a minute or two, but the Rovers captain lost control. He's given the Rovers a rightful free kick. Looking for Stapleton. Miller's shot. Hoping for another deflection perhaps, like the one he got at Bradford. Wilcox tries to play it back in early. Now McLaren with some cool work there under pressure from Garner. Two number 10s. Boarding inside to Calderwood. Ross McLaren. Tom Jones. Kerslake robbed by Wilcox, that's good work, but there's only Kennedy up. Andy Kennedy in familiar pose, claiming for a free kick. Jones for Swindon, gets past Dawson. Mills headed out. Miller helps it on to Garner. And Kennedy with room to work here. Dearie me. Ball Borden. It should be Darren Colliers. Collects that well. This kick is a poor one. Jones hoists that in, but Collier kept his eye on it. Like a good outfielder. Bounce deceives Borden. Simon Garner looking to get him round the back. Calderwood square for Jon Gittens, and that's a terrible pass. Here's have a throw with Ali Dawson. Kennedy does well that time. Stapleton has Atkins outside, spreads the play well. Garner tried the turn. Also with a good ball for Wilcox. As well, finds Kennedy. Cloud passing above, deposits a shower of hail upon us. Jones. Kersley. And nearly a mix-up in Rovers' goal mouth. Finally away. Here's Kennedy. Wilcox is outside him, but well behind him. And the big man does seem far more inclined to go down on his backside and claim for a foul than to actually forage away. It is again with all the half to run into. Outside to Jason Wilcox this time. Garner's inside. Kennedy far post. Unable to fashion a third goal. Miller. Simon Garner. Simpson with an early touch. White pushed off by Moran. Oh, the referee says it was the other way around. Gives Rovers the free kick. Once again we have bright sunshine. Reid and McLaughlin both missed out, but Reid collected it finally. Dawson and Wilcox. Very tight there, and Simon Garner just offside. Although I think Simon considered it otherwise. Here's Simpson for Swindon. Bodin. Jones heads it back across the box. Kerslake. This is a good run by the fullback. And his cross just swung out of play. Swindon still look full of attacking ideas. Kennedy's ball was a poor one, but David Kerslake appears to have problems now. Pulled his groin or something. Referee insists that as he crossed the line once, he's quite capable of doing so again to receive treatment. Ozzy Ardiles comes to survey the damage to David Kerslake. And he's decided on prompt action. We're going to get a second substitution in a moment. It's a blow for Swindon because both their full-backs have been instrumental in some of the fine passing moves that they've put together. Jones with a good ball in for Simpson, but he's unable to control that. Rovers have a corner. Wilcox. Simpson inside for McLaughlin. McLaren, a kind deflection off the referee. And a foul by Miller on Jon Gittens, gives Swindon a free kick. Rovers have a throw deep in Swindon's half. Mark Atkins will take this one. Stapleton wrestled off it and commits a foul on Fitzroy Simpson as he pulls away. Referee might have played advantage there, but gives Swindon the kick. Shearer and Stapleton tussling. McLaren plays it out for Borden. Cuts in from left back. And McLaughlin tried to feed it through to a colleague, but nobody was on hand. Swindon able to clear their lines. Simpson. Jones. Side to McLaughlin. Jones once more. One too many defenders, and he extends an arm to try and shove David Mayle off the ball. Rovers in control at the moment. Hart wanting a word with John Miller. Reed's clearance. Kennedy. South-handed Kennedy's looking in an isolated figure up there. Simon Garner dropping off a lot deeper this half. Try and cut some of the supply off through the middle. Stapleton cuts out McLaren's ball that was intended for Simpson. Collier collects. Garner. Bundled over by Calderup. And a second substitution, sorry, a first substitution for Rovers. Andy Kennedy is a man withdrawn. Tony Finnegan replaces him. Straight into the action. ran. Through for Garner. Simon took the ball to the byline, but could only swing it out for a goal kick. The Rovers formation will be interesting here. Looks like Frank Stapleton has moved up to centre forward duties. Tony Finnegan wide on the right in midfield. Featured in both games last week. Finnegan at Hull. Came on. It's not a bad ball through for Stapleton. Looking to return the compliment, but easy mate for the Swindon defence. Garner and Stapleton in one another's ways. Borden came through. John Miller with a hefty challenge on McLaughlin, but Wilcox won't catch that one. Don Mackay threw that ball over a Swindon player's head. The behaviour on the pitch of players never improve until managers lead an example. Stapleton dispossessed. John Miller. Finnegan. Garner turns well past Simpson. There's nobody in the inside right channel looking for that ball. Not down by Stapleton for Garner. Looks out wide, but cut out. Intended for Jason Wilcox. McLaughlin misdirects his header. John Miller. Stapleton's ball sells Reed short. McLaughlin once more, but that's not a good ball either for White or for Jones, whichever of the two it was intended for. And Stapleton and Dawson combine well. Another stray pass. Fitzroy Simpson tries one from distance. Never looked like trouble in Darren Collier. Three minutes gone, Rovers 2-1 in the lead. Leeds ball forward, it's for Garner, but Calderwood drops nicely for him. Play it back to Fraser Digby. Bording's cross, McLaughlin's header. Flashes wide. David Milner sits his clearance. Down for Jones. Borden. Oh, what a good saving clearance from Nickerade that was. Borden slipped the ball past Darren Collier as he came out. There was never much pace on the ball, but there were forwards looking to out that on its way in. corner will be delayed until Paul Bowden's all right, but Nicky Reid never a more timely clearance than that. Off Shearer's toe by Jason Wilcox. And McLaren's shot is deflected past for another corner. Swindon just having a little spell here. Jones with the corner. Money out as far as Simpson. McLaren inside him. Gittens with the shot. And Steve White forcing Darren Collier into prompt action. Collier is injured in the process. Darren Collier with a sore neck or a shoulder into the bargain there. Swindon have a corner. And Collier comes and collects that one. Very confidently. Swindon fans trying to roar them in to second equaliser. And Rovers men offside. I'm not sure that Tony Finnegan was the man who was penalised there. He was looking to make a run. Never scored a league goal for Rovers, Tony Finnegan. Which is a pity because his celebrations are always memorable. He can even outdo Andy Kennedy as the most outstanding celebrator. There he is, Harrison Bowden. Good work. Stapleton. McLaughlin. Steve White's cross. And David Mail deflects that out for a corner. Rovers have had some calamities with own goals this season. David May among the own goals. David Mail would be very relieved to see that one flash past. Offside from McLaren's. One goal is a slender lead at the best of times, and against a team playing as well as Swindon. Rovers have got to be looking to clinch the game with a third. Finds its way through to Wilcox. And that's a good ball inside for Simon Garner. And a poor finish from Simon on that occasion. He lined it up with his right foot. He studied the angles, but blasted it high wide. And certainly not very handsome. Wilcox did well to intercept that ball. It was on its way out to Cornwall. And here he is with a chance to move forward. unusual method of trying to get that ball out of the ruck. Miller does well. Frank Stapleton. Ali Dawson is outside him. His cross is a useful one. Out by Calderwood for another corner for Rovers. John Miller gets it back from Wilcox. Crosses a deep one. Tony Finnegan climbing. About 7 minutes left. Rovers 2, Swindon 1. Vital points, these 3 on stake today. Good work from Atkins. Garner comes away well and finds Wilcox. Jason Wilcox ran himself into a rather blind alley. Kevin Moran, typically unhurried, unfussy work. Get the ball back to Collier. Digby with an enormous clearance. McLaren forward, looking for White. And a great save from Collier. Oh, magnificent effort from White on the turn. Volleying that shot in, but Darren Collier, my word, he's had his critics, but how vital could that save be at the end of the season? Borden. Shearer well off target there with a good opportunity from Calderwood's knockdown. Rovers living on the nerve ends here for final minutes. Truth, with Scott Sellers missing, it was never going to be easy for Rovers. Probably the most creative player on the sidelines. The score stands like this, they have the points in the bag. Garner and Gittens getting in a tangle there. Looked for a moment as though Simon Garner would rob Gittens and get away, but Swindon defender recovered. Jones. McLaren. Finnegan as well finds Wilcox. Simon Garner sprinting back to find himself onside. By time he could turn, the ball was back in the hands of Fraser Digby. White. Simpson. McLaren. Collier firmly behind that one. Rovers throw, time running out for Swindon. Rovers anxiously watching the clock. McLaren. McLaughlin is in some space, wide on the right. Somebody to make a run inside him. Shearer is the man. Can only win a throw. Jones. Borden. And Collier claims that once more. Jason Wilcox has a problem. Collier tried to find touch, but so now Jason Wilcox is down in the corner, an injury. He's left the field to receive treatment, so the referee rightly waves play on. Stapleton nods it down for Garner. Mills header. Rovers looking to get Alan Irvine on quickly, place of Jason Wilcox. The full 11. The ball's back in the hands of Fraser Digby, perhaps one last chance to hoist a mighty clearance. Set up one final Swindon attack. Rovers aiming to defend resolutely and get a free kick. Alan Irvine can come on for Jason Wilcox. And the young winger certainly let no one down on his debut for Rovers, full league debut. Set up the first goal. He's done some useful work with the ball this afternoon. Mills free kick. Digby collects. McLaughlin's shot turned round by Collier. Swindon haven't quite finished yet, they have a corner. We're now in injury time, but only just. Jones with the corner. Oh, what can you say about that scramble? Mark Atkins with a strange back pass to Tony Finnegan on the line. Just too many bodies to get it through. And what's the linesman signalling here? I think he's seen an offside. It's almost like ping-pong across the penalty area, but the happy outcome from Rovers' point of view is a free kick. Offside decision or a foul by a Swindon player. And surely Rovers have weathered the storm now was amazing sequence of events. Finnegan. Atkins for Stapleton. One more clearance from Digby. Shearer and Dawson battling for that. Irving gets it clear. Gets it back from Stapleton. And whacks it out onto the dog track. Referee surely set to blow any minute. So Swindon's brave efforts look to go unrewarded, and Rovers have the vital 3 points. There it goes. Rovers 2, Swindon Town 1. Rovers with injury problems at the start. Sellers missing, Geno missing. Done extremely well to claim the 3 vital points that push into the playoffs. Blackburn Rovers 2, Swindon Town 1. Simon Garner opened the scoring, Jon Gittens equalised the minute before half-time, but in the second minute of the second half, Mark Atkins prodded home Rovers winners. Blackburn Rovers 2, Swindon Town 1.